Hi, I'm Bart Hanson. I'm the owner and lead instructor for CrushLivePoker.com. The following hand comes from our call-in show that we record at 4:45 p.m. Pacific Time every Monday. If you want to call in your hand, check out the instructions in the video description.
The 2550 hand with this $100 straddle on.
2550.
With 58.
Okay.
Yeah, 58,275 effective, and I'm the effective stack.
So 25, 50, 100. This is played at the Aria, and you are really, really deep, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So Under the Gun opens for 350. Hijack calls, and I am the hero on the button with King of Diamonds, King of Clubs.
Okay.
And I elect to 3-bet to 1450.
Okay.
Under the Gun 1 calls, and Hijack calls as well.
All right, so +1 calls and the hijack calls. And you guys are all deep, huh?
And the hijack.
Wow.
All deep. Yeah, they both cover me, yeah.
Are these guys, what's the deal with these guys? Is this a pro'd up game, or are there some
one
spots?
Of them, the main guy who I'm in the hand with, he's a pro. He plays there quite often.
Yeah.
And the other guy's just a recreational player.
Oh, it's nice to have a recreational player at 25, 50, 100.
Yeah, yeah.
So the pot's like 43 and change,
when I say
probably.
recreational player, I haven't seen him before. That's what I mean. So He doesn't look like he's a pro. Yeah.
Okay, so the pot's like 43 and change, I would say, or maybe 44 or something like that with the dead money out there.
Yes, I think the pot was 45-25.
Okay.
And I just wanted to see that sizing. That's a good sizing, you think? That's okay?
I mean, yeah, I mean, you're making it, what, about just under, you're making it just over 4x with a raise and a call. You're in position. You're pretty deep. Yeah, I mean, I think that you could even go larger tier 2. Definitely, when you're in, it's when some of the work that Colin and I have done in top section with like 3-bet sizing, it's really strange. Like, you're really deep here. And what I mean by that is over 500 big blinds. But one of the things we've looked at in terms of optimal play with sizing and 3-bet pots is that, like, when you get down shallow to like at 100 blinds, 100 to 150 blinds, your 3-bets are supposed to be gigantic, especially from out of position to cut people's set mining odds off. Then you get into this middle zone where it's like 4 to 5x from out of position. And then the deeper that you get, it depends on the position you're in with your stacks. Like, you don't want to make huge 3-bets from out of position when you're, say, over 500 big blinds. But because you have position, you're allowed to put more money in. So I could even see going larger here.
Okay, great.
Okay.
So yeah, the flop is the Jack of Diamonds, 6 of Hearts, 2 of Hearts.
Jack of Diamonds, 6 of Hearts, 2 of Hearts. You have, what were your colors of your kings again? Sorry.
I have the King of Diamonds, King of Clubs.
Okay, King of Diamonds, King of Clubs. Okay.
So Under the Gun +1 checks, Hijack checks, and I bet 3,100.
30.
Under the Gun, yeah, 3,100. Under the Gun +1 calls, and Hijack folds. Again, I just wanted to check and make sure that sizing was good here.
62. I mean, it seems to be a little. So it's Jack of Diamonds, 6 of Hearts, Deuce of Hearts. Usually in multi-way pots, the sizing goes down a little bit. It's kind of rare to be in a 3-bet spot with like in a multi-way pot. I would tell you heads up. We've talked about this quite a bit recently. You actually get to bet quite large on a board like this. Quite large usually being like more than half the size of the pot. Like, you could probably see like 3/4 to 2/3 with kings here in a spot like this in position. Multi-way, nobody does. There's no computer answer for multi-way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would probably tend to go half pot, but I mean, yours is 2/3 the size of the pot, so it's kind of large. The board is very disconnected. You don't want to go so large that the guy in the middle, only defends with the jack. So I would tend to maybe go a little bit on the smaller side, maybe like 2,000 to 2,500. But okay, you bet 3,100 in a call. Pot's like 10-7, something like that.
Yeah, 10-7-25.
Yeah.
And the turn is now the 10 of clubs.
10 of clubs, okay.
Yeah, Under the Gun checks, Under the Gun +1 checks again.
Yep.
And I bet 53.50. and he calls.
5350 in a call. I wonder, let me think here. Like again, like I can just when you play up at these stakes, right? We try to play as close to equilibrium as possible. And again, I've learned this stuff too through sort of like the brute solver work. And my sense here, I actually might bring this call on to top section this week. I actually emailed it to Conlon from an optimal standpoint. Okay. My sense here
Right.
is the bet is so large on the flop, and also too because this is also important because you three bet pre-flop and +1 has a call in between. He has to defend way tighter to the point where even King Jack suited might not be a defend. It's obviously a defend heads up. I'm talking about pre-flop. So it's like Ace Jack suited and maybe Jack 10 suited and maybe Queen Jack suited. Definitely not like Jack 9, and obviously like pocket tens and something like that, and his pairs that he might slow play off. I don't know if he only has ace jack here. Like you bet so large on the flop that he's probably defending in the middle with a jack, and I mean I guess maybe like eights or nines and tens with a heart. You might have run out of some value here from an optimal setting here on the turn. You might have run out of some value because of the large flop sizing. Now, if you had bet smaller on the
Right.
flop, you're allowed to bet more on the turn. But if he's playing close to equilibrium, he's got a pretty tight flop calling range here because of the pre-flop configuration. And if his hands consist of like ace jack suited, queen jack, jack 10 suited, tens, and he's slow playing some hands here, you may have run out of some value here on this turn. I think you'd probably be able to bet like a 6 or a 4 or 3, but maybe on turns of 10, but it's probably pretty close. So you bet half the size of the pot.
Correct.
Okay.
Right. Now we get to the river, and this is where it's very interesting because the river comes the King of Hearts, and the pot is 21,400 approximately. And he now, under the gun +1, he sort of tanks a little bit, and then he leaves out for 23,500, which I actually didn't think the King of Hearts was the worst card for me, because I thought that a lot of it blocks a lot of his good combo flush draws, like King Queen of Hearts, Ace King of Hearts, King Jack of Hearts. So it was one of the better cards, in my opinion, for me to be calling with if I did want to call with this hand, since I also improved.
So the river's the King of Hearts, right?
Correct.
Right.
So the flush comes in. Yeah, the front door flush comes in.
Obviously, it's logical, too, that he could arrive here with hands like Ace Queen of Hearts, right? Ace Jack
Correct.
of Hearts, Ace 10 of Hearts. Those are the hands that are defense. Possibly some like Ace 5 of Hearts or something like that. So he could certainly have
Correct.
the nut flush here. He could have the nut flush
He could.
here. And then the question is that when you're trying to figure out how you would have to figure out like where do his bluffs come from in a spot like this? Like he's not supposed to have, and again, I'm talking from a strictly equilibrium perspective. Jack of diamonds, 6 of hearts, deuce of hearts, 10 of clubs, king of hearts. You've got kings. He's not supposed to have offsuit ace jacks here. So he should not have ace jack with the ace of hearts here. So I'm trying to figure out where his bluffs would sort of come from in a spot like this, and I wonder if it would be a hand like. Would it be from? So it's kind of weird because I'm trying to think of where the bluff would come from. Would it be like a hand like Queen Jack
I
suited,
actually
something
wasn't
like that?
thinking so much that he was bluffing, but I was thinking more along the line of, he has like a set of jacks or a set of tens or maybe Jack 10 suited or hands of that nature.
And you think that he waited to the river to pot the heart, like he's turning his hand into a bluff here?
Yeah, you're right. I guess,
I mean, here's the thing. I mean, if I was playing this big and I knew the guy was a pro, right? You have to have some non-flushes. I think, off the top of my head, you have to have some non-flushes here to call with. And if you wanted to call down linearly, then obviously this is a call, right? I mean, we haven't gone into to look at the exact combos. That there might be better calls, but I I don't think I would fold top set of kings here. That's for sure.
You wouldn't fold.
No.
Okay, great.
No,
okay.
I don't.
Yeah, I also called. It was
Uh-huh.
not the winning hand. He had ace ten of hearts.
Ace ten
So
of
he
hearts.
turned, he turned second pair with
Right.
the nut flush draw on the turn, and so he just couldn't fold.
Yeah, I mean, it's. Oh, actually, you know what? Someone's David V. Yeah, shout out to David V. There. I was trying to figure out like where you derive your bluffs from. King Queen of Diamonds. The only thing about King Queen of Diamonds, actually, though, in theory, David, in the chat, King Queen of Diamonds is a defend heads up. But because of this extreme configuration, you're not going to call King Queen of Diamonds, which is basically 2 overs and a backdoor diamond draw, 3 to a royal, because of the 2/3 sizing with a guy behind you. You can't make that defend. You can make that defend heads up, and that's probably where that's a good combo that he might derive a bluff from. But here, because of the extreme nature, but I still feel like you have to call with some hands, right? You have to call with some hands that aren't flushes. So then you just, if you don't know which combos to call with, then you just call down linearly, right? Just in case he's doing something crazy.
Right.
So,
yeah. Right.
All right, Sean, thanks for the call. I appreciate
it.
All right. Hey guys, if you like what you've seen here, please click on the subscribe button and you'll get notified every time we put up a new video. And if you want to check out crushlivepoker.com for the first month free, use the code YTA200. Click on the link right there.